Bacon.
Bacon.
Maybe bacon.
I'm outside because someone tried to steal my bacon and my aluminum cans. So that's my son's retirement plan. Can't have that happen in the trailer park.
Tim's got a truckload of grease, and it's going to be seen. All right, guys, welcome to Idiotsayswhut Season 1, Episode 15. We're going to talk about bacon, and it's going to be a great conversation. We have all sorts of weird stuff that's happening in the world. See you in a bit. Hey, Tim.
Oh, sorry. It's doing a solo in my head. By the way, in our last Sports Balls episode, someone asked who did our intro music. It's Neil Miller, and you can find out his band. It's The Broken Circle. You can find Broken Circle. They're performing live at the Luna Lounge in Cesar, Illinois, April 19th. And they were also a featured act on our Idiotsayswhut-a-thon, so you can check out some of that stuff. Check out some previous episodes on them.
Hey, man.
Woo, not funny, but educational. Starting it off right on ISW.
Listen, music people are very talented, but let's be honest, some of them are assholes. That's,
he isn't, though. That's cool. Which
is awesome.
I know, it's insane.
Because, I feel a lot of the time that it's just, because it's a huge talent, and I have sausage fingers, so I lack total dexterity to be as musically inclined. I love music, but not good at it. Tell you that.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm quite the legend in the Guitar Hero circuit.
Making families cry across the Midwest. I know.
Well, once or twice. I'm just saying. I know the piddly dills and the piddly wows and the wiggy wigs and the reds and blues. And I have a list of 100% FCs. I know I'm not going to dumb that down for you. That's GH language just for my fans out there. But yeah. So if the guitar looks like a Fisher-Price toy and got 5 buttons, I will shred like Van Halen. Panama, bam, 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 Panama.
Like, that's awesome, but at the same time, I really want to make fun of that.
Well, then you'd make fun of the tattoo on my leg too, sir.
Serge, your enthusiasm, we definitely share it. Bacon.
We're getting there.
Glenn, I'm sharing this shite. Thank you very much. I feel like we have that connection, Glenn, and it makes me happy. I've already shared it because I'm a team player. Okay, Glenn? Toe the party line, sir. So how's
my
your
wife is right now my wife's sharing this episode right now, contemplating why she married me. Like this is what I was going to do. Year 5. This is our anniversary. So a funny thing is we looked back fondly on our because we're both going to going back to college.
Exciting.
So we had to look up our marriage and all that stuff, and we have a fake date and a real date, and that's something that only us have, and I think that's something special to us. We have a fake date because we told everyone we're going to get married, and they surprised us with like a honeymoon and everything. But the problem was my ID was expired and I didn't have any, like a social security card. So I couldn't get married. So we just told our family and everything. Yeah, we totally did, because we did want to not go on the honeymoon. And then a month later we got married. So
that seems fine.
It seems adequate to me.
The question is, how long was the ruse successful? Because obviously now you're saying on the internet.
The ruse is still going on. Like, I've actually just broke some fourth wall. It's literally our fake date is our Facebook date for all, because some of our Facebook fans donated, but the real date is under lock and key, and I won't tell you.
That's fair.
Because Facebook is mean, and I have
Facebook is mean.
They're mean bullies. But Which led me into something different, though. I was signing up for college, and one of the courses I get to take is Intro to First Year College Experience. And I just want to show up and be like, I failed for 15 years in this class. I'll tell you my experiences. Like, just me showing up to all these kids. Like, it either is going to make them do really well in college or leave in droves. Like, who is that? Is the janitor just taking classes now? We just letting anyone come in here, and I have to tell them, no, I'm a student. And then they're like, oh my God, what'd you do? We got to work hard. Look at what happened to this guy. We don't want to be him at 34. But that's the fight part. I'll say I'm 34, and they'll go, 34? He's only 34, guys. Our professor looks younger than this bloat. What's up with this?
That's we've met a few of your teachers, and that is a fact. You definitely
It's
look
so
older than your
true.
teacher.
It's so true.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
How's
hey,
your
congratulations.
week been?
My week has been fine. I've been it was fairly relaxing. You know what? Like, honestly, we had the marathon. Nice trailer, Tim. They must have money because they got a house door on that trailer.
Oh, yeah. We tell everyone people live here, too.
Yeah.
Just because we get some questions, you know?
Well, you know, it's better to let people know. That way you don't have any awkward incursions.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a question mark when we first moved in. I painted over it just to answer that question, made it more a statement, you know? So, but nice eyes, Glenn. No one's checking out our wanted poster, right? God damn it, I'm not pointing at this damn screen. It's the worst. You see it. It's on the tree back there. I nailed it up earlier.
Right there. No, right there. Up there. Right there. See? Yeah. Yeah, no, my week is fairly relaxing. I'm on day, let's see, what day is today? It's Tuesday, and that means that's about 3 days away from 14 days. So like day 11 of no cigarettes. And
Bravo.
not really. I hate this life. This is horrible.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm day 4 in almost vegetarian wife life, which means I'm vegetarian, kinda 75%, but definitely working. I tried kale yesterday, and
that doesn't seem like a successful story. Go on.
It wasn't successful. I tried it. It tried me back, and we had a good time. No, it wasn't bad. You garlic and everything. We had salmon.
Yeah.
We're more fish. I guess she's not a total vegetarian. It's a word I'm not going to. Yeah, that one. You know what I'm saying. Like, I thought we were going to have to go to church for longer because she was like, I'm pescatarian. I'm like, oh, no. And we're vegetarian? This is too much. What happened in the New Year's? This is too much change. But no, it's what you said. So I was relieved on that part.
I'm on a 30-day diet so far. I've lost 18 days. There we go, Glenn. That's a nice one.
You better find them. You're one of our biggest fans. I don't want you losing too many more days. You already lose your damn shirt. You need to find those days. You know what? Best way? You nail up a virtual thing on a tree, and it just works. Especially if you're at a trailer park. Don't ask questions. But other than that, I went to the movie theaters over the weekend and had a hot dog. Have you ever had this experience, Dino?
I have had a hot dog at the movie. I did have a bet where I told somebody I could eat a movie hot dog in one bite. Which I technically won, but I didn't feel good afterward. But go on.
It sounds like the Canadian dogs are a lot better at the movie theaters than what I got here.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably. Like it's like a Knackwurst sausage, like a Johnsonville big bastard of a hot dog.
I got a piece of a big like Slim Jim with mustard. Like it was like it looked like Joan Rivers now. It was just tan, withered, and like it's been buried for a few years. It was bad. It was bad. But it's not the worst hot dog experience I ever had. Worst hot dog experience I ever had was we were standing in line for a haunted house a year ago. And I wanted a hot dog just to eat because we're staying there forever.
Sure.
and they don't have it ready. They're like, oh, someone's wanting a hot dog. We didn't think fat bastards would be here right at the meat wanting food. I'm like, making me feel awful. But I'm like, I'm already in the
Yeah.
pocket. I gave you my money. I'm getting the hot dog.
I'm getting the hot dog.
He can't open the $1 pack of bar ass hot dogs. Mind you, I spent $4 on 2 hot dogs. So I've already paid for 80 hot dogs on retail price the way they're serving it. And I see it. They're already breaking the fourth wall. He's like, nah, I need something to open it. So the aunt throws him car keys. And he uses the car keys to his fucking Nissan Altima or whatever and punctures it open and gives me bare hand cold dogs. And you know what? I got the fucking key dog, dude. I got the dog that the key went into. Ain't that a motherfucker? Like, I'm tasting parts of a Subaru I don't even have.
Listen,
With
there was
the
probably
mustard.
a little cocaine on that key. Let's be honest.
It probably
Probably
was.
was. If he's running the hot dog stand at the haunted house, he's living the high life. That ultimate key, he definitely a quick little bump in the little in the porta potty over there.
Well, those were bar ass hot dogs. If there's any residue, it's definitely a little bit stronger and more trailer parky than cocaine. I'll tell you that right now, which made sense because I got a boost of energy after those. Like I was running through that. It's like, where's everyone at? I was ahead of the killers. I was like, hey guys, they're over here. Come.
There's a Tim-sized hole in the maze, just going right through the middle. I'm gonna find it. That seems reasonable.
Giving refunds to everyone else I'm with. Yeah. Oh my lord.
Well, I had a little weird interaction with my wife this week, which I thought was entertaining. Which now that I'm mentioning it, I'm sure she's going to tune in and she can hear this. So she went and bought me these fancy cookies this week, Tim, which I was like, hey, that's awesome. Now, what people don't know is that my wife likes Mars bars. So we've been rationing out the Halloween candy still. And Mars bars come in a separate bag because they're nut-free and allergen-free. Okay. And so I don't have Mars bars unless she has Mars bars, but I don't go in there and take the Mars bars. So she bought me fancy cookies and they had like peppermint patty cookies, Reese's Pieces cookies, M&M cookies, and they had Mars bar cookies. And she's like, I want the peppermint patty ones. And I'm like, you're going to get the Mars bars ones. And she's like, why? I'm like, because you like the Mars bars. So you bought Mars bars. You get the Mars bars. Those are your favorite. Everything else is my domain because I'm very fat and greedy.
Right.
And she said, no, I want the pepper one. That's why I got 2. I'm like, no, you're mistaken. I get 2. You get none. You get the Mars bars one. So she got one of the Mars bars ones, Tim, and I'm angry about it. I'll be honest with you. I feel like it was stolen from my hands, and I didn't enjoy it. But they were quite tasty. I did have one of the Mars bars ones.
Well, I think, that was a plan of attack you weren't going to win. But you were doing it anyways. It was more of like a symbiotic. It was a symbol of your fighting will as a man. Like, of course you're going to lose, but you got to put your foot down for something, or you turn into one of those inflatable clowns that just whatever you want, dear.
Well, yeah.
Do you want seconds? Are you warm? Well, one of those needy husbands are just like, Jesus Christ, guy, chill the fuck out for the rest of us. Like, she's okay. She's a human.
I like showing. Did you ever watch that 70s show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so do you remember when they go up to the cabin or to like do ice fishing and Eric gives Donna his jacket because she's cold, and then what's her face? Mila Kunis is like, I'm cold. And the fucking Kelso is like, well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather. I'm like, that's exactly how it would be like, you probably should have brought a coat if it's cold. Like, no, I'm good.
I'm going to go old school. I remember, I think it was Happy Days did something similar where the little sister was at the party, so they couldn't cuddle and do extra stuff.
Sure.
And the fridge was open; they didn't have the heat. So I think it was Ralph the Mouth had one of the girls or something. They were hugging on him, or what? Potsy, one of the group. The girls were on, and he's like, and she walks up. He's like, no, but I'm so cold. Well, that's what the light in the refrigerator's for. He's like, go warm up, and I died. 7-year-old me skipping school was like, this is what the life is. This is.
This is the future that every American deserves. That's fair.
Future.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh Lord. No, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like because it that's her cookie. You should have thought, it's going to be her cookie.
Yeah. Why would she
So
buy her cookie not for her? That doesn't make any sense. That's the question that men ask since the dawn of time.
well, it just seems like she wanted 3 sets of cookies.
Well,
Like it didn't want to say it. Like she was just kind of like, oh well, the Mars bars are for you. Like she was blaming her cookie lust on you, and that's
yeah.
just not right.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, there were 12 cookies. I ate. She had like 2 bites out of the one cookie, and I'm still angry because I'm a piece of shit. But I think that's only fair. That's
Cookie Lust sounds like a holiday Hallmark thriller. Like Cookie Lust, starring Katherine Heigl
that's
and John Stamos, the Greek sensation.
Oh God. Hey, while we're here, let's talk about our sponsors there, Tim.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. What did we have? We just have we have our own, which is just hit us up on Venmo if you want to tip us, just support the show. But of course, Eargasm, hit up the Patreon where we do have a subscriber there, and also the Cash App if you want to support the shows. We have a few shows in development right now that we are brainstorming on ideas, and everyone is welcome to support. So we'd love your comments and your likes and shares. So please like, share, subscribe. Let us know what we can do to make the show better, more enjoyable, and have everybody enjoy what they're doing. So what should we talk about? I believe we have our subject, which is pigs and how fantastic they are. But we also have Am I the Asshole, which I have a really interesting one.
Here's the thing. Here, I'm going to burst bubbles now, because I'm going to be that guy. You keep thinking because I'm a fellow large enthusiast that buys Shaq clothing, and ironically myself, like yourself at Walmart, that I'm going to be supportive of the bacon trend. I'm going to burst your bubble. I'm not. So let's go further. Like I'm going to be shitting on it a little bit.
Who hurt you, Tim? Who hurt you?
Well, it's all going to start at a very young age. But if you wanted to pinpoint it, Ed number 2.
Ed number 2.
Yes, Ed number 2. That bastard.
I believe.
If you guys are if you're up on your Tim Loss lore, that is the second of the third Eds. Yes, it was very much the YMCA Ed that was happening, and he did have the longest reign. He was the
longest reign. Yeah,
he did have the longest reign until we finally got rid of Eds and went to Greg, like the English did back in the 17th century. None of that's true. Like 17th century is like 2 people ago. It's not even that, and that's not even true. But it's really not even long.
I love how your factual inaccuracy just ramps right up to 11, and just like that's only 2 people ago. That's not. It's like 9 people ago, maybe 12 people ago.
Well, it's like 20 lost people ago. We always died early, with the gout or something. They didn't have sugar shots back in the Black Death era, so you had to do what you had to do.
Search this. Show me on the doll where the bacon touched you, Tim.
Well, we'll get into it, but my favorite segment every week I look forward to is Am I an Asshole? So I don't want to tread on that. And then we'll talk. I will slam the pig down afterwards and tell you what's up.
So the Am I the Asshole is really, it's a unique story, and I have a range of quotes. And now everyone, of course, can Google this, but basically is an article that I read entitled "Ex-Reality Star Who Made $200,000 Selling Her Farts in Jars Reveals She Was Rushed to the ER with Heart Attack Symptoms Only to Learn Severe Chest Pains Were Caused by Excess Gas."
What? I was moving inside from my trailer, and what the fuck? All right, tell me the twist, the M. Night Shyamalan ending again.
So this person, her name is Stephanie Matto. She is from Connecticut, or no, I believe it's Connecticut, and I'll tell you, I'll double check that. From Connecticut. She was on 90 Day Fiance, and she started selling her farts. Okay. This is her, okay, selling her farts. And recently, this was also her in the hospital with heart attack symptoms, but it turns out it was a fart attack. Um, Now she's made $200,000 from this.
I am fucking stunned, dude.
Hey,
Like, not about anything but the fart attack. Like, it all seemed like calculated until like she's a
oh,
victim or something. Like, what?
well,
A vic-
she claims that she has curated her diet to maximize the amount, quality, and also the impact on her body the farts have by a special diet, which is composed of black beans, Coca-Cola. She prefers diet, but that diet might cause cancer, and then it's in bold says that's not a scientific fact. She also uses cabbage, and she says a shout out to her Czech Republic heritage for that. Brussels sprouts if cabbage is feeling too extreme. Okay. Protein muffins, or as the fitness community calls them, fart muffins. Dunkin' Donuts coffee for mental and physical health purposes. Then organic protein powder with oat milk, yogurt, and a banana. She refers
so
to
she's
herself. Yeah, go ahead.
what the fuck is she eating? Bark and fart juice? Like, literally, what the hell? Like, this is the worst. This is the worst. Oh my god, who would buy? This is not a good aroma to put in a jar. This is like, where's the rose petals? Where's the lilacs? Where's the smell that you would be like? She's just making stinky, raunchy farts for dudes in cellars.
Listen. Um, well, she wanted everyone to know that at this point, we want to shout out to that we're on the Weiss Podcast Network as well as the IUA Network and Eargasm Network. So thank you, everyone. And Wayman Wright just says they want to welcome us to the team as we are
Yeah,
broadcasting on that
guys.
website.
Yeah, they don't jar their farts at the Ways World Podcast Network. So go over there, give them like they have some great content. We're proud to be on the network with them.
Absolutely.
Especially with the IUA Network and Eargasm. We are very excited. So if you're a fan of the show, check out some of their network and give their Facebook page a like. We are streaming live from their page right now. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys.
That's just a note to everybody. We are on the Eargasm Facebook, Eargasm YouTube. We are on Ways World podcasts on Facebook, the D&T Network. Then we're also on the Twitch for both myself and for Tim, and as well on the IUA Network on YouTube.
See, our farts are so fucking good, we don't have to jar them. Like, that's what we're basically saying. So this lady, I will tell you a secret, though.
Yeah.
This is not undifferent than the Lost Ways. I'm not going to say because before OnlyFans, my aunt, we called her Aunt Airy. I'll get into why we call her that later. But sure. Aunt Airy used to play jokes on the family.
All right.
And what she would do is save all the good Halloween candy till all the other kids were out of it. And then bait them with mason jars with one piece of candy in each one and fart in the jar and seal it. So you would have to go through the fart to get to the candy and then eat fart candy. I grew up with her. She's a trip. She turned this into more of a this is a James Bond villain.
That builds character. It does.
Into a James Bond villain. Like, who the fuck? She's the one who killed Daniel Craig. Like, this is how good she is. Like, who does this shit? You should do this shit. That's ridiculous.
Listen, this is the thing is I just love this person. So as I said, you can Google Stephanie Matto. She says she doesn't kink shame because some people are odd and weird, and that's not a problem. She says, I'm very smart and I love to read. Now, her validating point with all of this was specifically that she felt she had made it when Lance Bass commented, wait, what? on her first post, where she described her diet. And then she says, hey, Lance, if you want a free fart, hit me up in my DMs. Even though she knows that he isn't interested in women, maybe her farts will change him. So, just so you know.
She's trying to use conversion therapy farts. Is she from Indiana? Like, what the hell is this? This is some. It's not Canadian because they outlawed that last year. I think, didn't they, or something in Canada? I know.
Probably, I don't know.
I am not a barrel of historic information right now, so I'm just saying.
I
I'm
think you're
like,
more a historical contributor to farts than a documenter of farts. That's what I'd like to say.
if that says that on my tombstone, I think I lived a great life. Like, in all
Absolutely,
honesty,
absolutely. But yeah,
how
so
did Tim? Hold on, before I get further. First of all, the lady, she's not an asshole, but anyone who buys it is an asshole. Comment who's the asshole in the OnlyFans. But I'll also comment, Glenn, you might be the asshole of the comments today for asking that question. How did Tim end up with such a great family? I'm charming, dude. Like I don't they buy these Goodwill shirts with the ties.
listen, this is, and it gets even crazier because she said people. She has curated a pleasing fart. That's what she's done through this. Okay, she said it's a once in a lifetime product, and she sells it for $1,000 a jar. Okay, she's
Once in a lifetime product.
once in a lifetime product. Demand is too high. Packages were damaged, and high quality service is her priority. Customer service,
So
number one objective.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm in a new age. Farts aren't fucking snowflakes, guys. Like you don't.
Listen,
They're not unique thing. What's next? Or farts are going to be sold as NFTs? Like what the fuck is this shit?
just so you know, she describes herself as the Einstein of farts. Okay, the
She
Einstein.
would.
And now she says people purchase her farts because of her amazing personality, and people love to hear her ideas and hear her talk and express her views. They said,
No
"Wow,
dirtbag.
she's so interesting. I wonder what her farts smell like." That's how she described her fans.
No. That's what creepy guys say to her to feel good. What they're doing is they're trying to simulate ass eating or some sort of kink shame thing. But here's the thing that gets me on this. She says she doesn't kink shame, but what happens if you like kink shaming and that's your kink? So
Well-
she's like vice versa, oxymoronic, already alienating some people. Like,
Well, you can't say you don't kink shame and then say that some people are odd and weird and that's okay. You're like, that's not. You can't.
yeah, that's very true.
You can't say I'm not going to shame you because you're a weirdo. You're like, that's not a productive.
How'd she fall
discourse.
into it? Did she take a shit and then like at a public restroom and open the door and a guy walked by? It's like, man, I'd pay for that smell. You're like,
I'm not sure.
well,
She did say after saying that it's probably because of her amazing personality, but she is stumped what other reason there might be.
oh my god, she just sounds like a clueless, moderately 7 Midwestern hot girl that has no one ever told her that she isn't fuckable. Like that's not her dad didn't even say it growing up, so she's got a lot of issues, and she's selling farts now.
Well, when
What
she
the hell?
said, people probably say, "Wow, she's so interesting. I wonder what her farts smell like." And then she said she's stumped. What other reason there might be? When she said that, I took a screenshot, and this is what she looked like. And I'm going, I have an idea of why they're paying you money. Just gonna say,
I
maybe.
call this the sniper wolf syndrome. It's like, yeah, we watch SS Sniper Wolf for the content. Yeah, that's why my pubescent son really likes her content. It has nothing else. Wink, wink. Those Darman videos she collabs with are on point. You know, like, nah, we've all grew up. We know what it was. Like in our age, it was maybe Britney Spears, but at least she didn't sell farts.
Listen, I just love. She says you try to make farts multiple times a day, and it's not easy. And I just thought that was important to make sure that she knows that I feel her pain. You have to time things. You have to. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And she even said, she goes, part of the reason why it's so expensive is the shipping, the food she has to eat costs money, the energy she expels in trying to fart, the flower petals that she used to absorb the fart smell, the handwritten note, which takes time. And as we all know, time is money. Hence, there's expenses. So, hey, Tim, I'm just saying, if you have anyone we can use catfish pictures for, maybe we could start selling some farts for $1,000 a pop.
No, I have integrity.
What? That doesn't cost a thing. How dare you,
I have
sir?
integrity. They're going to get the whole fucking turd or nothing at all. You're not going to just get the byproduct.
No essence. You got to get full product.
I'm giving you an actual product. I'm not giving you a feeling. I'm giving something you give on to generations. A once in a lifetime turd. You might be lucky. It might be a 2 mason jar shit, depending on how much I ate. You know, I might give you that's a bang for your buck you can't get anywhere else. Yeah, I've changed my ruling. She's a fucking asshole. Fuck this lady. Like, I'm not even saying get a real job. Just stop farting in jars and playing on men's emotions. This is why they all turn into neckbeard fedoras, because they're smelling your farts and they think that's a way to talk to ladies. Like, get the fuck out of here. She's an asshole. Throw a hashtag or not on it. I am not supportive of this. Like, even on a platform, can't you be a respectable OnlyFans thing and at least show a nip slip or nothing? But no, farting in jars. Jesus. At least throw up a potato salad recipe. So, like, or something that give these bachelors some hope. Like, they're like, after they smell their farts, like, well, maybe I'll try this recipe and cook. You know, a skill or something. Jesus Christ. You angered me, Dino. This angered me.
And I got so much joy out of it. I'll tell you that right now, because it's so ridiculous. Yeah.
What do you guys think? What was Shirtless Daddy comedy? I'm trying to change it because I don't want to bring our guests up right in the midst of farts. I'm trying to Let's open up a window and get some fresh air. Get some palate cleanser in here. Woo! Let's spray some Glade. Like, Lord. I hope you guys are having a great time. Shout out to all the networks who just recently got picked up by Ways World Podcast Network. That's very awesome. Shout out to the IUA Network on YouTube, all our fans at the Eargasm, and our new fans at the D&T Network. We appreciate you coming in. If you're a new fan, please give us a like and a comment. Tell us what you think of this OnlyFans account.
No, it's on unfiltered, not OnlyFans. It's worse.
It's unfiltered? Mm-hmm. There's another OnlyFans other than OnlyFans?
It's OnlyFans on crack, apparently.
I'm very upset about this. This will have to go in further. I'm not wasting any more energy on it, though, right now. I will say, though, if she is doing all this pushing, she must have like a whole bunch of core muscles that we don't know about. Her abs must be great.
Listen, once again, we remind people, do your Kegels. They're very important later in life, and it will help you, apparently, to be able to still fart.
Well, I guess so, Lord. Well, we're going to ask our first guest. He came in, what his thoughts on our topic is, bacon. I'm very privileged and excited to bring him to the show. He's done everything. He's been on national television. He's toured across the country, performing for all you great people. And we're very excited to bring him on Idiotsayswhut. Please give a round of applause to French Accent, a.k.a. Kevin Bennett, guys.
Hey,
Kevin.
Let me tell you, we need Jesus. What the fuck is going on? What is going on here? I mean, this is like the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. Who knew it would be farting? That's why people are getting the scorpion locust, because they're breathing the fart smell and it's rotting their brain. They're becoming a parasitic carrier. And how do you know? I mean, you're talking about the Kegels, different muscular group. Let me tell you, the Kegels, colon, not the same. They're close. They're close. Here's my question. What if she mixed it up? I mean, is there a guy, he's sitting there, he's like, listen, I paid $1,000 for a fart. You ain't going to pass this queef off.
I sent it to a lab.
There's all queef, no butthole. Yeah,
I just see a guy in a white coat now with doing a montage.
Oh my gosh!
He's got to waft it. And safe science first, right?
Well, to add to your point, when you're canning stuff, I want to know if she went through the proper procedures, or are we getting like fucking bacteria-filled farts? Did she do the proper boiling and technique when you do home canning? Because you can get people sick. There's pink eye now all across the Midwest because of this. And it's not good. Like, if you see a neckbeard guy with a fedora and he's got pink eye, you're like, oh, you bought farts, didn't you? This is what happens to you.
The best part is, like, they're $1,000 a pop, man. And she's like, well, she had a deal for $500. You're like, $500 for a fart?
Man,
other books, that's a fart directly into my face. Okay, it's not in a jar. Like that's sorry.
What was wrong with the Victoria's Secret catalog? I mean, what was so bad? Why did we have to up the ante to fart jars and beast porn? And it was so fast too. It was like inside 5 or 10 years, like everybody started eating ass and lost their mind.
Kevin, I feel like your bougie lifestyle with Victoria's Secrets is a little bit higher than our Sears catalog wank.
You're talking to a guy that still looks at the turret as a little like, hey, you coming in hard, YouTube. What's up? But no, he makes a point. I think it's lack of imagination, man. That's what happens when
there's accessibility, right? There's one of the things there is it's anywhere you want. Touch your, at your fingertips, right? And it's a big deal.
I'm glad you're on board. I was real nervous. I was like, he's got to be like halfway. The fart smell isn't even gone yet. We didn't even jar it. We're bringing up this guy. I'm excited.
I can smell it through the podcast right now. I can smell this Midwestern Kansas Milk Queens. There's got to be some milk.
And Canada. Don't worry.
She's in Canada?
Yeah.
Canada, yeah.
So she ships internationally.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. Well, I don't know. I haven't ordered it.
It's like
Dino knows. Did you hear him? He's like, oh yeah, of course. Like he said, no, not me. Don't check my emails.
Fuck you guys, man. That's bullshit.
It's farts beyond borders. It's a better service than the doctors beyond borders. It's just it's keeping people from raping people. They just smell the fart and crank one out. It's a public service.
Listen, we've all been in comedy. You have to leave your home area to get popular, and then you come back, right? So it only makes sense that she would ship outside of the U.S. before focusing on her local market. She does advertise to buy local people.
Trying to get into that Japanese market, where they
no, you can't. Those guys are they're selling underwear in vending machines. You can't touch that. Okay?
Fart vending machines, boy. That's what I'm telling you. Fart vending machines.
You can't guarantee the seal on that. It's not.
Oh no, you vacuum seal it like at a home. You can seal. She just gets one of those home sealers, and you're good. And to go on to Kevin's point, I think that monologue would be a perfect advertise to have Kevin talk and then have Sarah McLachlan play in the back in the arms of an angel.
Just
man.
Oh my Lord.
I honestly believe, Kevin, I was half expecting when you showed up and we were still talking about it. I'm like, he might just turn off and be like, oh, fuck you guys, and just turn off. Thank you for sticking around.
It's not the future we wanted. It's the future we deserve as comedians.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Listen, we can't. This is the only thing we can joke about. Okay, we can't kink shame unless it's farts. But soon enough, we won't be able to. Listen, I kid you not. There are mics in LA. You cannot make fun of people eating ass. Not allowed. Not allowed. Because they've got a business. It's shipping ass beyond. We've talked about it.
That probably leads into. We'll get into some questions. How is because you do comedy everywhere. I'm more of a Midwestern bloke, so it's stuff like that. How is comedy in some of those states like Los Angeles, like you mentioned? Is there a lot more rules and nuances to it than maybe other places?
It's weird. It's actually it is and it isn't how you'd expect. So last year, 2021, I didn't get to do comedy nearly as much as I'd normally do before the whole COVID fiasco. This gal farted in a jar and a bat breathed it. But anyway, so I didn't get to do as much as I normally did. I did about 30 shows, about one every 2 weeks or so, sometimes 4 in a month. But I did travel around. I made it from Seattle all the way down to DC, and I made it down to Denver, and I made it down to California, Oceanside, which is just south of Orange County. It's technically San Diego County. And what I found is it's like a checkerboard, kind of. Like in Colorado, for example, Colorado Springs, pretty good. I mean, I got kicked out of a coffee shop for not telling a that's what she said joke, but that's another story. It's not as bad as like Denver. Denver, they're sniffing that girl's butt and calling it feminism. That's what's going on in Denver. And then you get out to LA, and LA, some districts it's all like Los Feliz, which is east of Hollywood and kind of north and west a little bit of Los Angeles proper. That's like all hipster, right? Okay. But then you get down to like Huntington Beach, which is all the way at the bottom in Orange County, and there's some rooms that are more conservative than Colorado out there. And then San Diego, nobody's wearing the masks. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're nah, we ain't doing it. LA, you can't even go into like fast food joints without having a vaccine passport. So it's weird. So like you'd expect it all to be just, all blue on the left coast. It's not. It's more than other places, but there's still some okay spots.
Well, that's cool. That makes sense because right here, I live in the very heart of the Midwest, Southern Illinois. It was never believed. COVID never existed here, whether it happened or not. But I liked it. I got a little bit more freedom to perform because of that. So I it was good or bad. I ethically, I had to think about that later. But at the time, I'm a stand-up comic, and stages were there. Comics wanted to perform, so we happened. But that was a good insight, man. I appreciate that. On that other note, I've been canceled 3 times last week. Cancel culture. Yeah, I'm getting my numbers up there. I don't have the credits yet, but I got the cancellations. So, like, we're getting there. Cancel culture. What do you think of it? Because personally, I think it's real to an extent. I think it's a word people use to make themselves feel better. Like, yeah, we canceled that comic. But this comic never goes anywhere. We still exist. We still are around, and we're still saying the stuff we do. Is it more just to make like publishers okay? Like, is this like a ad-friendly thing, or is this natural progression in comedy?
Cancel culture is it's cancer AIDS. It's gonorrhea.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Even Zuckerberg didn't like that, huh? Zuck was like, nope. We're talking cancel culture. We canceled Kevin immediately. Is it Mike? Oh, it happens. We're having a good time too. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll stop my cam. Maybe that'll work.
No, it's not you. It's going to be on his end. It might. Sometimes your modem will cycle or something like that, right? But
we'll wait there. But no, that's a good point. We actually, Dino, what do you think about cancel culture? I never even talked about you. We never got your input on it.
It honestly, as always, comes down to a basic thing with regards to I'm going to take him down just so he can, and when he comes back, it'll show up. But it comes down to the fact that there are varying degrees of purpose, right? Is for all intents and purposes, the idea of not allowing certain ideologies to propagate and go forward has always been a way of controlling the populace and to stop insurrection and that kind of thing. The problem is it's now been weaponized and used on a daily basis for random stupid reasons where someone complains and you're like, you should be canceled. And you're like, that's not how life works, right? Because the fact is that's just someone's opinion, right? And opinions, like we know, like assholes, don't matter. Hey, there we go. Hold on. Hey, Kevin.
Sorry about that. I went into another room. We were talking about cancel culture and how it's AIDS. And
that's what we thought. As soon as you said it, we thought you got canceled immediately. Zuck was watching and he shut down the stream. He was like, "No, we ain't having it." But then, glad to have you back. No, we were kind of on the same page here. I'll let you go ahead and finish your point.
Yeah, sorry about the dang internet. I should have known the room. Anyway, cancel culture is it's gonorrhea AIDS cancer that is a symptom of cultural Marxism, and it has no redeeming qualities whatever except to divide people and act as a impediment to free speech and free thinking. The ultimate end result of it will be the death of comedy. There's no comedy in China. There was never comedy in the Soviet Union. What was the best thing they had in the Soviet Union? They had Yakov Smirnov, and he left and came here. All right, that's
True.
what cancel culture
to Branson.
Yeah,
to Branson, Missouri. What I might add.
Yeah,
I am the result of Lenin and Stalin. Now Branson, be punished. In Soviet Russia, you cannot have. Now we're going to have in Soviet America. South Park did a thing on it. They had Jimmy. He's like a gay man walks into a bar, and everyone's okay with that because he's a nice fellow. And that's his comedy in the future. Patton Oswalt apologized for being in a picture with Dave Chappelle. The cancel culture, it's gone full retard. It's gone full Robert Downey and blackface retard. That movie couldn't be made today. And you know, Robert, I'm going to get some better light here. Robert Downey Jr. is not remotely racist. Neither's Ben Stiller.
No.
Neither's Patton Oswalt or well, Dave Chappelle. I don't think he's racist. I think he's against racism. So what we're seeing here is the death of comedy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you made a good point that no one said yet, and that makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to add to it. I think it's a death of comedy from people that want to be part of the show. I said this for the longest time. People aren't, when they're offended. We always had hecklers when we did stand-up comedy. It wasn't a big deal. Now we have a platform, social media, and they get to be part of the show. And sometimes them disliking us makes them more part of the show than liking comedy. I think that we shine the light and applaud some of this behavior, and necessarily we don't. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like, why do we give a fuck what Helen thinks in Montana, and we're giving her such power? Like, oh no, Helen might not buy Nikes. Get the fuck. She has a kid. She's buying Nikes. Get the fuck out of here. It's happening.
She's stealing Nikes. Let's be honest.
Yeah, someone's getting clothes. So like, I just don't get it.
She doesn't have any money. She can just fart in a jar. But you got one out of like you said, it's 1 out of 100 people that just lose their mind. And then they try and cancel a Dave Chappelle or something. Here's the thing. There's a book by a guy named Vox Day. It's about the SJW movement. It came out 2 or 3 years ago, and it's called Social Justice Warriors Always Lie. And it's got some good points. I don't agree with him 100%. He's got some great things to say, though. And one of the most important things is never apologize, ever. It's like your girlfriend. It's like when you say, honey, I forgive you. And she's like, what, you think I did something wrong? Oh, shit. You stepped into it. Never apologize. If you apologize, you're admitting de facto you did something wrong, and then they shame you forever. What you do is you just have to be willing to cut that tie and just look them in the face and say, your farts stink, and you need to quit this cam life because you're ruining the world. You need to talk to Jesus and go to rehab, you stinky, stinky Kansas bitch. That's what you need to see. You just got to be able to say it. You just got to be able to
Connecticut, say it. Sir. Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Oh, they could go too.
Yeah.
This time of year.
Okay, hold on. Let's put it this way though. Let's be honest, okay? So for me, I am a very conservative person in my real life, right? But being in comedy, the fact is that I think there's a certain standard that we've lost, right? And having a heckler in the audience, I know for myself, some of the best sets I've ever had have been because of the clapback I had to a heckler. I had 2 hecklers. I destroyed them both. The video is on my YouTube channel, and they had to eat all the dicks. It was great, okay? But because of that, I got such a great applause, okay? Yeah. But the fact is, there are a lot of other people who I've shared the stage with that, number one, suck. Number two, as soon as a heckler gets involved, because of the kerfuffle that is that heckling conversation, everyone's like, ooh, they're so edgy and awesome. No, they just talk down to somebody because they're on stage. You could say anything. You have the mic, right? So I feel like it's an avenue. It's the same idea of people who use spam and just try and flood the market with something where it's like, well, I was so edgy that everyone loved me. You're like, no, everyone had an enjoyable experience because they saw 2 people argue. Everyone knows, like, look, the worst thing that the pandemic did, it hasn't given anybody an opportunity to watch 2 people fight on the street where you could just have popcorn and go watch these people fight. It's going to be so funny, right? Yeah. So
I love Dino had to promote his, I did great this one time. I saw, you can check out that YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the comments below. Tell me what you think of it. Give it a like, share, subscribe. Dino,
you had to put himself over. Are you kidding me? He keeps on doing this, and I'm like, fuck you, Kevin.
Tresemme, beautiful hair. Listen, I ain't farting in a jar, all right? Actually, what if? Wait a second. What if the Tresemme and the Head and Shoulders? What if it's really a bunch of Asian kids farting in jars, and we've been putting this in our hair the whole time, and we don't know? You know what? I've been in salons, and it smelled like a fart. Probably because those ladies just stand around and don't leave for a while, and the smell congeals. But I always thought maybe it was the shampoo.
That makes sense. Like, they all have bad gas, and they're just blaming it on the phone shampoo.
We got a bad batch of shampoo.
We're going to get canceled by the Hairdressers Association now. They're giving out secrets and lies.
Well,
that's not true.
Proprietary secret. Well, though, it's true though. Like you were saying, I'm also fairly conservative. When I'm on stage, my objective is to make people laugh. Period.
Yes.
And whatever they're laughing at, I lean into it, and I try not to break any ethical ground. But my goal as a comedian is to bring humor, authentic laughs. Yeah. I started in Colorado they're liberal as a cat's ass, in your face and unapologetic about it. I had to, from the beginning, start understanding there was a barrier between the local culture and what I liked. And I had to lean into that and learn to make them laugh first. Most of the cancel culture comics never learned that lesson. They started out in Denver or LA or New York or Chicago, where everybody believed the same as them. And it all became about one-upping each other with how radically woke you can get. And they never learned to be funny. They just learned to be sarcastic.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I hate about it. I actually live next to a metropolitan area. Being from the Midwest, I have the Midwestern, and I can go literally 3 hours and get the liberal city outlook on stuff. What got me the worst is what I hear from my experience, because I even now I'm like, oh God, I can't say in broad terms. From my experience from there, the people that shouted the most were the most offensive too. Like these people, like, oh, this is ridiculous. This guy's performing here. This guy were the same people that were harassing female comics in the DMs or being negative to this, and that's what I hated most. It's I'm a left leaning guy, but I know what hypocritical movements are. I know what bullshit is bullshit. So what happened to me is I actually had experience with this personally. I said, "What's up?"
Going around.
And I lost respect for him. Because why would you let someone do it for years? You know, like to me, it's like, why am I, the Midwestern guy, gotta say like what he's trying to do illicit shit outside? Like, why is that a big deal? And you're all claiming to be woke. You guys don't give a shit. You'll sell everyone down the river for 5 minutes at the local mic. And that's what I saw was which hurts everything. It hurts your, like on my side, you can't say, oh, I support this and this, but your actions speak differently, because all that does is counter the whole thing, whatever you're saying. But that's the one thing I hated most was the gatekeepers in comedy, because everyone, like, you got out. You know, these people sometimes take 15 years and stay where they're at, and then they just like, oh, you're not funny enough, we're not going to do this, or find a reason to do bullshit.
Oh, you talked about being canceled 3 times. I spent more time in Facebook jail from March of 2020 till now than I've been out of it. I kid you not. And here's how it started. I was dunking on the COVID thing by using science and stats because I had to write. I don't get.
How dare you? How dare you? You logic and science.
Right? I had to write content articles on why you need a flu shot. I really don't support them, but what I did, because I figured somebody had to write it, is I looked up the stats on the flu and found out how often people died from the flu and what happens with the shot. I said, well, you better be 100% healthy before you take it, or you're probably going to get sick because it's just an inoculation that gives an antigen, yada, yada, yada. I do the research. So I started posting that. They took something I said from 2019 in July or August and used that to throw me in Facebook jail in March of 2020. And what it was is I think I called Gore Vidal a fag or something, which isn't nice. It's not nice, but it's not wrong. It's just not nice.
Gore Vidal?
Just not nice. So that, but okay. You know, I may have transgressed, but you still, the people on the other side use all sorts of terms, and they will threaten death. I mean, I've had death threats on me more times than I can count, and I don't report them because, you know, I'm not a Gore Vidal. You know, I'm not farting in jars and making a living off it.
We don't kink shame and we don't word shame. You can say whatever you want here. Probably we ain't going to take down your Facebook page or anything. We ain't like that. But
and everyone knows about Gore Vidal. That's fine.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
It's like no one's going to be in our comments like, no, not Gore Vidal. Like, come on, guys.
I mean,
take it easy.
Yeah, so that's what's gone on though. When you take away language, it's Marxism. It's straight out of 1984. And the thing is, I think we ought to be able to use these words not because it's good to you know, make fun or be mean, but because governments and corporations should not be telling us what we can and cannot say. And you know that they are underwriting Fart Girl. So it's not like they're on some ethical high ground at all. There is no ethical high ground here. It's just, well, farting in jars is fine, but if you think it's wrong to put porn in front of kids, you're a bigoted racist and you don't get the vaccine. I don't want the vaccine. I'm going to drive anyway. You know, it's crazy.
So
Yeah, like back in
go
the
ahead.
day, we were sat in front of TV to watch Sesame Street. Now you sit your kids in front of a Twitch stream, like watch these guys in their swimming pool as they jump up and down for 8 hours. Like what the
I'm
hell?
grateful for Sesame Street. Otherwise, I wouldn't know that that Pete Davidson is the AIDS Muppet. If I hadn't seen that, I wouldn't have known. Sorry, I don't know if you like Pete. I mean, he's probably a
No, fuck that guy. I don't give a shit.
All I know is he keeps banging these hot girls and looking like a doofus, and I'm like, man, I'm using all this Tresemme with the fart in it, and I'm living in a van with a cat. The hell is he doing out there?
Dude, you are right. We missed our time. Like when we were growing up, you had to try a little bit. Now you just look like you get a shift off at Applebee's or the local diner. And you're like, oh, man, I'm late for my next face tattoo. And Poon just gets thrown at you. Like, it's ridiculous. We actually have a co-host that all he does is jump from house to house girls. He's like, yeah, it's the life. I'm like, what the? Like, it just happens. It's the look now. He's a white guy with dreads and face tattoos that does MMA fighting. He's basically 2010 wrapped up in one. He's just watching
I didn't know you had Post Malone on the show. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. That's neat.
With better hair. With better hair. A little bit better hair. Yeah.
He does smell better, too. The rumors are true. Our co-host smells a little bit better.
Yeah. The prophecy is true. Smells like a dreadlock and not a Connecticut fox. Remember that South Park with the Tom Brady, and they're like, "Ooh, he's got the spaz." It's like that's real life now. Like because they were going after the poop of Tom Brady because it had the bacteria in it. Now she's $7,000. That's so sad because she's like, it costs me so much. You just need to fart 4 times and you can afford a house in the Hamptons. What the hell are you talking about? A month, I mean,
Oh, well, that's the thing is she's trying to say that, well, it's hard to fart that much. And I'm like, listen, lady, come over to my house. Trust me, I could turn this place into a hazmat situation with just a good iced coffee and a couple tacos. So, hey, man, I feel like I should be better at catfishing or replacing the image that I have to be like, hey, I don't look like this. Want to buy a fart? And I think
I want to buy one to see if there's any like decorative on the outside, like the makeup for the 1,000
like flowers in it and stuff.
But see, that got me pissed off. Okay, because when you mentioned that, she mentioned flowers to help the fart's essence or something. Mm-hmm. I'm paying $1,000. I want raw fart. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't want. You're paying potpourri you farted on. Now it just seems like you're adding an extra step to potpourri. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Hey, at $1,000 a bottle, I expect farm to plate fart. No middleman, no tainting, maybe a little tainting, but farm to table, raw fart. Okay, that's like sashimi grade fart. Okay, it should be pure, not adulterated with other things.
I think we just found a new motto.
I want a Whole Foods fart. All right.
Yeah. A Whole Foods fart with a bit of asparagus pea. Just a little dash, maybe a drop. Right around the rim. Make it sing.
I want a Whole Foods fart with a Got Milk commercial ad campaign to push it to the masses.
Yeah. Sponsored by Starbucks. Hey.
Right. Oh Lord. Yeah, I want one. I'm going to ask one more question because I'm very excited about this. You were on a national competition TV show. I don't want to name it, but we all know and all that. Was some story you could tell about us maybe on the backstage that was humorous, all that? Because I know I loved your performance. I saw on there. I loved all of them, but it was really fun, entertaining. I think you lived in the moment and worked off the crowd. It was fucking awesome. But is that different than what we actually happened, or is that editing magic? Like, what is something you could tell us like that was crazy about that experience?
Well, yeah, I was there for about 10 minutes on stage, and they edited it down to 5 minutes to fill their TV slot, and they basically told the story, but they cut out some of the best jokes. They took some of my repartee and made it look like I prepared that, and then some of my prepared stuff they made look like repartee. And I'm sitting here, I was wondering about that. There's 2 things that are kind of funny. They're not like hilariously funny, but there's some neat backstage. number one, I was the last of 400 live auditions on this show. And it was Friday, and it was near midnight. I was dead last, and they were ready to be done. Tyra Banks is backstage because she's supposed to go between. You know that she's not on my set because she saw the last one before me, and she says, all right, fuck it, I'm out of here. And she just left. Like, she's like 6 feet away, and I'm hoping to say, I got to sub it, and she just got out of it. Yeah. She's done. She's done. Yeah. She's like, one more. This guy got a quarter. He looked like he sucked. I'm out of here. And she left. And I'm like, man, nobody's going to believe me because I didn't even think they were going to air it. And then the other thing was, I had a head cold, and Howie Mandel is a hypochondriac. Yeah. And so all I was thinking of, because I was there from 10 a.m. till about 11 midnight, right around there when they put me on, and I barely ate anything, so I was kind of weak and tired, and I was like, okay, don't sneeze, don't cough, don't snorkel or anything, don't do anything because Howie is the only one that will be on your side and understand what you're doing. The girls will have no idea, and it's a foregone conclusion that Simon's going to hate you. And that's what I was thinking. And then the other thing I was thinking is just keep going until they drag you off the stage. Just don't stop until they drag you off because you get one shot. So I didn't sneeze or anything, and Howie liked me, thank goodness. And the girls didn't get it until I got – see, I told the audience because they laughed when I got a buzz, and I said, hey, you guys thought that was funny, but they didn't. There's more of you than them or something like that, and they didn't put it in the show. But I got them. I rabble-roused a little bit. and that because that's what you do as a comic. It's about the audience. You bring them in, and then if you get I just treated the judges like hostile hecklers, and it worked out.
I saw something. They took their exes back. Yeah, you got the whole crowd on your, and that's a true. Like when me and my wife watch a lot of comedy and stuff, and she was watching it with me. We got goose pimples. Like that was comedy. That was comedy. It doesn't matter what Simon says. Simon's going to play his fucking part in a reality show. But you connected with it, especially now that you tell me you were 400 out of 400. They were done. They already had their Slim Jim hot dogs, and they were ready to go home.
Oh, and this isn't to be mean, but there was you'll know exactly what I mean when I say this. Right before I got up, so they, it's a variety show, different kinds of acts. They put a female comic right before me. And they hadn't had comedy for like 5 acts.
No.
And then they put her right in front of me, and she just did the mainstream woke stuff, which is just perfect, and you can't say no to it. And then it was me. She wasn't on the season. So, and she's she'd been doing it longer than I have. She was out in New York at the time, and I think she's been on a couple of late night talk shows and stuff. So she's already going places, But yeah, they put her up right before me. So that was the palate cleanser they got is that. And then I got on and they're like, no, we're done.
Well, that's the funny thing is like, listen, I know female comics who are hilarious. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with, you're funny for a female comic. No. You're either funny or you're not. That's period. I'm like, it has nothing to do what your race, gender, none of that matters. You're either funny or you're not.
And don't listen to your friends. The crowd will tell you in the moment.
That's a fact.
Oh, yeah. I've watched comics, both men and women, go, you can laugh at that, and everyone's going, no, just not go laugh. And you're going, yeah, it wasn't funny. Like, listen, if you want to be edgy, like what I really respected about you was, yes, you did bank on Howie seeing the artistry behind your set, and that was a very high level interaction, which I loved. But the fact was that a lot of those people were like, I don't get it. And you're like, that's because you're dumb. It's because you're dumb. That's why you don't get it, because you're the reason we can't have nice things. It's that simple. Right. And that's why I'm like, there's a different interaction. Like, that's why, especially during the pandemic time, like throughout the show, I've always said, I'm like, I'm pro-vaccine. It's like, I think that's science and everything great, but I am pro-pandemic. Because I think we should spend less time together and have more separation in general, where nobody's talking to each other because they're the worst.
I just don't care. Like to piggyback on your thing, if you're vaccinated, I don't care. Like
No,
I'm going to forget your name anyways. The only reason I care is because, like, the only reason I know it now because it says it on your name tag. Thank you, Helen. I want plastic instead of paper. Maybe go on my day. Like, I really don't care about the common interactions what people have on vaccines because I chose to do my thing and they could choose to do their own thing. That's kind of my thing.
I'm not vaccinated, okay, but I've also been isolated the entire time. I've had the ability to be at home with my family, and I don't go out. Okay.
And then the pandemic happened.
Well, yeah, no, I was allowed out before. I have to wear high vis though. I have to wear high vis, otherwise somebody will shoot me.
Well, he's a little hairless now, but he was the first Bigfoot filmed in Canada, walking around.
You'll know me from this picture. That picture with my black cardigan on. That's something like, huh? Yeah. So, but yeah, like it's in general. I'm like, yeah, I've been invited. People are like, hey, are you able to come to a show? And I'm like, no. They're like, oh, I'm like, they're like, oh, aren't you vaccinated? I'm like, hey, man, listen, that's none of your business. Number one, but number two, I have old people at home. I'm staying isolated. I'll see you guys in a couple of years. It's no problem. That's fine. Like. I do this. I talk with people on the internet. You know why? Because it's funny, and realistically, most of the people I want to punch in the face. So this is better for everyone. It's fair.
Well, and the thing is, that's been the biggest problem with this whole thing, is they're not letting us do they're forcing people to do one thing or another. You know what? If you want to wear a mask, do it. Don't tell me I have to or I can't be on this flight. But if you want to wear it, fine. If you want to get vaccinated, fine, get vaccinated. Don't tell me I have to do it or I lose my job.
All they had to do was encourage people to do the right thing, and they would have had so much more support. When they did the mandates, that just wasn't right.
Well, that's the thing is, listen, there's a reason why murder is against the law, because a lot of us feel that murder is A-okay because some people are trash. But it's against the law because that interacts with other people. And you're like, no, you can't do that. That's why it's against the law to even try and kill yourself. Why? Because you need help. I'm disappointed by the lack of.
You were worried about what you were going to say, Kevin. You were worried about what you were going to say here at Idiotsayswhut. So we're free. We're free like that. One more question. I know I said the last thing, but it goes on topic because we're going to talk. How do you feel about bacon?
Bacon. I'm mixed on bacon. Here's the deal. I love bacon. I love just getting naked and rolling in bacon. But it's got pork has got trichinosis because they eat plastic and dead things, and they will go through bone like butter. Hence the expression "greedy as a pig." Snatch reference, if you know it. But
that's right, Governor.
I take offense to that.
You just became the coolest motherfucker in my book. That's all I'm saying.
I love bacon, but the thing is, there are problems with pork, and it's weird because I like it, but I know so I eat it and I'm like, oh, I should, but I love it. I'm kind of like I guess I'm not Jewish, but because they actually love bacon. A lot of Jewish people love bacon, but it's like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't. I'm kind of like that. I'm in the same boat, kind of.
Well, I'm not isn't it kind of just because it's taboo? Like maybe that's why they go, ooh, look at me. Like they're probably I agree with you. I was raised that pork was a filthy animal just because my Ed number 2 was just thought we need to be fitter. So, but the problem that
worked out great.
Yeah, well, hell, hey, yin and yang. It's the reason why he was stepdad. We had different genes. Like mine were bigger than his immediately, so he was a little intimidated. But no, bacon wise. We got turkey bacon, and I think that's the problem. You can't there's no substitute to bacon. No. There's full bacon or you get no bacon. Because turkey bacon, you shouldn't be able to put a curd of fucking egg in it and roll it up and have a little it is flimsy. It does the wave. It bites back at you. It's more rubber than how dare they?
It's not bacon. No, it is an insult to call turkey bacon. Just call it, I don't know.
Bacon strips and feed it to your goddamn dog.
No, just call it turkey. That's all it is. It's fucking turkey. Listen, the fact that we had to go to turkey bacon instead of going to beef bacon first is just stupid, okay?
Oh, you reminded me of something, though. Now they have bacon jerky, and It is sinfully delicious. You can get it in the gas station. It's like $10 for like 10 strips. You don't care. You'll eat it all before you get to your car. I will anyway. It's good stuff.
I recently came across bacon jam. It was on my Wendy's burger, and I know Wendy's is like the worst it could do, and even they did bacon jam commercial, and I was like, oh my God, I'm giving my right foot to this now. Like I am a fan of bacon jam. Like I hated all bacon and desserts. I was like, as a fat guy, when will it end? It's in every meal. It doesn't need to be in desserts. But then bacon jam came in my life, and I was like, baby, you need to move aside. So we need to make room for jam.
PSA, if you lose your foot from bacon jam, you have an addiction issue. I'm just going to say that out there, okay? You can't not
You saw
bacon
my
jam.
trailer. What do you think addiction is? You know exactly where it's coming from.
You need to go to Connecticut Fart Girl. And
You got to smell some
get a
farts.
whole thing of bacon jam, and then here's the genius bit though. You don't pay for it. You have her do the farts as a promotional partner program with the bacon jam producers. You see,
Oh my
then
Lord.
you get it for free, and it's a win-win, and you don't have to pay her for it.
Fart Jam 2022. Farta Boogaloo.
For more OnlyFans hacks. Oh gosh.
I like this. We could get sponsored by maybe the fart pads that you put in your underwear that filter it out. This could be an event. I've already did 8-hour live stream, and I'm never going back though. So that sounds like a lot of work. I may just
That was last week, and it was brutal.
Oh man.
no video games or nothing, just us.
Yeah, we had like 20 guests, some music. We actually played a good interview. We interviewed Eddie Brill a couple months ago, and we finally aired part of it. It was great just because hearing from somebody who's been on tour and everything like that. Like, I'm still fairly new to comedy. I'd done it for about 3 years before the pandemic hit. So in total, it's like 19 years, but just the 3 before and then this whole pandemic time. But it's different, right? So I'm sure you
knew you were in trouble when I was the crafty veteran of this fucking group here. You're like, is this the captain? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, almost a decade now.
Yeah, I'm more of a professional, like life-wise and that kind of stuff. Not comedy, yeah, I'm still kind of figuring that out. I'd look forward to doing it, but it's interesting just to hear the experience of traveling and everything. That's always
well, I'd say
cool.
with comedy, and you're figuring this out. Keep doing it. Whatever you do on stage, have complete conviction and keep writing.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. I still write, but not nearly as much as I did when I started. And I've heard the same thing happens to other comics. Like I would write like Louis C.K. when I started. I'd get a new hour of material a year, only about 10 minutes if it was any good. But I'd perform it. And I'd keep cycling those jokes. And then I started to get the stuff that was good. And now, I still write, but not nearly as much. So keeping the discipline of keeping those funny thoughts and working them out. And that's the biggest problem with the pandemic is we need you can't rehearse comedy without an audience. You can get, but you like you said about the gals, there are some funny women, but a lot of the women who do comedy, you're just doing it because they're like, men don't get to own this part of society as well. And it's like, well, no, you need to be funny, sweetheart. I can't be a good parent if I put the kids in front of Fart Girl. That's not, there's a limit. There's good and bad. You've got to.
You've made choices.
So that's the rough thing about now is you really do need an audience with comedy. And I can still do it because I've got the material, but I miss, before the COVID, I'd get up a minimum of 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes twice that because I do 2 mics a night, and then I get a showcase. Now that's 2 months, and that's no good. That's no good for anybody. So there's got to be a way to get back to live shows, and they can't be inhibited by restrictions. Underground comedy, it's almost got to be Nirvana in the alley kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very true. You hit on a point. Even though there was a slight boom after COVID, we all opened up. Comedy was like huge. It felt like I talked to a lot independent on the independent circuit, like myself, because a lot of people around here are comic producers. You build your stage, you get a group. Like it's just part of it here. You kind of help out a little bit. But it was a huge boom because everybody wanted to get out. Us have been doing it for a little bit longer than the new people that just started in here knew the boom was going to bust. And we're now in the bust. And it's weird because people want to get back out there, but there's still apprehension. There's still this and that. And there's always a commentary about it. Like, you can promote your flyer, but then you might get one guy that's going to say some bullshit about it. You know, it's a whole new different thing. But what I will say, credit to the people that are still going out there and supporting us live, because that's the bread and butter. We're doing it for you guys, and we wouldn't be there literally without you guys. So that's the badass thing, is hopefully in your area too, there's still fans of this and still coming out and trying to do it. Maybe not as much as it used to be, but hopefully we're getting back to where we need to be.
Well, I'm saying just don't force the inclusion of everyone in the contest of spitting in each other's mouths. Save that for only for people who want it, not just everybody. You know?
Yeah, that social shit is just going to it's a self jerk off for every scene. If you've traveled, every scene has their little. It's all small town things. Like, that's what I'm like. Everyone seems to know each other after a while and do it, so you get these arguments and stuff like that. But I do hope everyone lightens up, and I think the bubble will burst on that too. But right now we're in the thick of you gotta watch every adjective, and that really fucks with comedy, because you can't be who you are on stage. You can't be who you are on stage if you're reading a script.
I read the audience, and I try and do this. I will write out, if I'm headlining, I'm going to write out an hour of material. I'm only going to do about 35 to 40 minutes of it straight, and the other 20 minutes is going to be whatever crowd interaction happens.
Sure.
It happens. You can't control it. You just got to factor it in, like piss stops on a road trip. But I will have a joke that's a little edgy, and then a safe one, and then a little edgy one. And depending on how they react to the edgy one, if they like it, then I'll go to the next one. But if they don't, then I'll skip on to the next safe one. So I'll kind of sandwich them in there. So I've got a joke. Somebody, I saw a meme on the internet, and it likened the transsexual experience to a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. And here's how I know whoever made that meme never saw an actual tranny, because let me tell you something. That ain't a butterfly. That's a caterpillar with lipstick. All right, that's not. and if they laugh at that, then I know I can go into my next. And if they don't, then I say, "Ooh, I've taken my life in my hands." And I kind of halfway, I'll do like a make fun of a fart or something that's like seems edgy, but it's not. And then so you can still say anything. You just got to see what your crowd's doing. And honestly, there's always going to be some Karen in the group who hates it. And if she starts heckling you, like you said, get her. Get her.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing, is there's a difference in having integrity versus doing your job. Your job, like, and I've always felt this is my job, is to make people laugh, and people should have come out to have an enjoyable time, crack a couple laughs, maybe a little interaction, and go home enjoying themselves. So if I go up there because I need to say my piece, well, now that's a TED Talk, and that's not what people paid for. You're an asshole.
This is comedy. It's not slam poetry. And it's not slam sarcasm that's clapped back. It's that's so.
Here's a trick I learned, and it's going to be terrifying to anyone, but I implore you to do it once, and it only works in small environments. If you got a small, like, this is for newbies, maybe my level, amateurs. I still do it because I like connecting to crowds, and I don't bring them in. So, like, sometimes 20 is all I got. I leave the mic there, and I go into the crowd, and I talk to them. I talk to them and tell you jokes. The reason why I do this is to work on my crowd work and connecting with the crowd. So, because most of the time in these small areas, they're like 6 feet away. They don't want to be in the front row. They're afraid. So I disarm them immediately. Go, hey, I don't need this fucking mic. I got a big voice. I could talk to you right here. And then you jump and go over there and talk. Feel out the situation, like Kevin said. But if you got a small crowd and they're doing that, talk to them and see what you can do. Have your prepared sets, like he says, know kind of where you're going, but have that open for improv. And some of the best shows I've ever had. Yeah. People are like, dude, you're amazing. Tom Ross kicked ass. They never get your name right. You never get my name right, but they love it. They're drunk and having a great time. And that's all I'm here for,
Tim, I love that you're like, some people, they're afraid. They don't want to interact with. So what I'll do is I'll come right into their face. It's like,
I do it with hecklers. I'll give you 2 times.
Yeah.
I will. If I give you and you're still being a sour in the mud, fuck you, dude. Like I'm not. You've shit on everyone for 90 minutes. We've retaliated to you, and you're still sitting there frowny face and still giving me. I could be Dave Chappelle rocking your ass. You're just go. Who's this guy coming to my town being funny? Fuck you. Give this guy his $5 back. Let him go home. And that's just my opinion. I know I'm different. We're never supposed to say that, but fuck that guy.
I think we should bring back punching in the face. That's my belief, is that I was built for that. Okay. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. That's 4 boys in that family. That's 2 tag teams. I grew up kicking the shit out of each other. I feel like that interaction between the audience and the performer maybe has a place now.
There is some crossover with wrestling and comedy. There is some just a little bit.
I'm big enough to be Andre the Giant. If you find me 6 midgets, I'll do it. Let's
I
fucking
love
go.
it. I had a drunk Mexican lady in Pueblo chase me with a plate once while I was on stage. And what had happened was the comic before me had been making fun of her and her drunk party, who'd been drinking at this bar in East Pueblo all day, and they were just soused. And he didn't get the joke until that comic was off stage and I was on stage, and her drunken brain finally put it together. I'm in the middle of a joke. I haven't even addressed this woman. All of a sudden, she stands up and screams top of her lungs, "You talk a lot of shit!" And then she came at me with a plate and started chasing me around the mic stand. And it was the funniest show ever, because the people who weren't drunk, they were laughing, and I grabbed the mic and I'd act like I was going to give it to her, and then I wouldn't, and then her drunken kids dragged her out of there. So sometimes it happens. You just deal with it.
That was the last time I took Mom to a stand-up comedy show. We weren't allowed back to the establishment anyways. But hey, man, I just want to personally thank you for coming out, taking time from your busy schedule and everything. You were kick-ass, dude. I appreciate it. Anything coming up you would like to plug maybe in the future?
Well, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun. Anytime, just let me know next one you're doing. As long as I got it in my schedule, I can do it. Next show I've got's in Williston, North Dakota on the 12th. I don't know the venue yet. I'm going to get an email and they'll tell me. Apparently there's a guy in Vail, Colorado who Mark Masters. He runs a couple rooms, and he does a good job. I got to stay in this condo in Vail. It was great. And he's done that room, so apparently it's getting some circulation, and he told me about it, and I'm supposed to give a sticker to a gal, and it'll be cool. So I got that coming up. I'm gonna do an interview in Simi Valley on the 20th, but it's for like a documentary about why cancel culture sucks. So I don't even know if it'll get made, but I'm going out there. I'm seeing an old buddy from before COVID. Maybe I'll do a mic or 2. You know how these things go.
Cancel culture
we do.
Documentary gets canceled. That's
the truest statement we've had all day.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's always a credit. He's like, "Yeah, I was in this cancel culture documentary. It's big, but you might not have heard it. It got canceled." It's you can always say you did that. No, they can't prove you wrong. Anyway, thank you for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. My comedy album is "I'm From Wyoming," obviously by French Accent, and you can find that anywhere online. Just look "I'm From Wyoming." It's an older set, but it's fun. And I guess that's about it.
Awesome.
Dude, definitely check out his album. Very funny. Please give it up for Kevin Bennett, guys, aka French Accent. Check out his album and see him live in South Dakota. This has been awesome, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Y'all keep it real. God bless y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Oh, that was awesome. By the way,
that was great, man.
That was fantastic. He was a fun guy. So
I liked it. We came in hard with farts, and he enjoyed it. That's what we need.
That's fair. So yeah, I follow if you can burp. Yes, I can burp. Nice stream, guys. Thank you. 6 midgets.
Was that burp good enough?
I dropped a couple in the meantime, so hopefully, if I follow if you can burp is still around. Are you brothers? No, we are not brothers. I don't.
As we know of,
very different noses.
I've never met my dad. But telling by our teeth, I think Dino's dad read books, and mine chose the latter. I mean, really, the latter. He did drywall and stuff like that. He didn't read much.
And Serge, you know what? Yeah, I actually do a joke that I'm a 6 midget Voltron because of my size. And he's like, maybe 10. I'm not 10 midgets. I'm only 6'2".
You're the DLC. That's the DLC. The extra 4 comes later. You don't get all 10, Serge. You buy the standard 6, and then you can tell who the real cool kids are at school if they have all 10. You know,
It's
I
like,
was the poor.
I'm Optimus Prime, and then you get the trailer attachment. That's the extra 4.
I was thinking Power Rangers and stuff, and I only ever got the Blue Tiger. I never was able to get the Megatron. And then we come to school for show and tell. It's like, Super Ultra Megatron. I was like, I got a Blue Cheetah. Rawr.
It's called a Megazord, you fucking heathen.
I wasn't allowed to have it, so I don't know. I got the Megatron by it was the Power Rangers that was on PBS. I got it at Kmart.
So we didn't really talk about pigs at all, and pork and stuff.
Oh, I tried to shoehorn it in, but we could actually spend the last 6 minutes in a debate for bacon supremacy if you want.
Sure. I think we're on the same. No. Like as soon as Ryan was like, "I enjoy turkey bacon, fight me," and I'm like, "I don't want to talk about bacon."
No,
anymore.
you eat turkey bacon. You've already lost, Ryan. There's no need to fight you. You're, as the old Simpsons meme goes, "You're dead. Stop. He's already dead. Stop beating him up. You're done."
I feel like Ryan says he's German, but he's actually French with the way he interacts. He's like, "Fight me," with waving a white flag. He's like, "Fight me." You're like, that's not. You've already lost, man. Calm down. This is the thing: is bacon originally was viewed as an unclean animal. It is an unclean animal, and the mass effects of mass farming has created unhealthy consumption of pigs and their care and those kind of things, which result in unclean food. And that's not just pig related; that's all food. Is that?
But I hate to cut. You're going to sound intellectual, but here in the States, we eat fucking ammonia treated beef patties called pink slime, and we call it ground beef. So I don't really think that's a fair comparison. Most of our food is fucking awful. They're all hot dogs. We don't realize that most of the shit's made like hot dogs. We just like, no, it's in clear plastic wrap on a white, so it's nice.
So the funny thing is that when you eat hot dogs, what you're technically doing is eating ground meat products in an intestine casing. So technically, whenever you eat a hot dog, at some point while eating the hot dog, you become a hot dog. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, if you want to get in that analogy, aren't we all just really walking, sweating hot dogs until we hit our last roller grill and go in the bun in the sky? We just hope we get relish.
I feel like that's going to be a quote for the show.
Well, it should be. I wish I put it on a T-shirt now, trademarked it or something. We're all just casings, sweating until we're done.
We're all just hot dog casings waiting for that big bun in the sky. That's definitely going to be our new motto. You know what, guys? I'm not sure if we should have topics anymore or if we should just kind of roll with it and then talk with people. But guys, let us know what you guys think.
It may be where we have topics only if we don't have a guest, because what's happening is these things are getting awesomely long, which is great, but also means we have to work. And look at us. We're not that working type, all this editing and stuff. And we want to talk about bacon, but what happens is someone always gets slighted. Like, because we could do another 30 minutes on bacon. Look at us. We're fucking bacon. But this might be one of those things where it might be a Patreon exclusive. If you don't like because of that, Twitch streamers, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
That's how you follow. So
you ain't getting that in no swimming pool fucking stream. I'll tell you that right now. I will say
weird.
Let's just
do that. They stream the jumping in a pool.
Yeah, that's it. They just sit in a pool in their bathing suit and just chill out in swimming pools, like in their front room. They get one of those makeshift ones.
That's ridiculous. Idiotsayswhut ADHD edition. Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, we're here to have a fucking good time, right? Like,
well, no, sir,
according to you and I, it's not going to be a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's just don't throw medical facts at us. Let our doctors figure that out. Yeah. Serge, though, you made a good point. That's always been the format of Idiotsayswhut. Have we ever, this has always kind of been what we do. But I agree with Dino. I think going forward, we may save these topics for something different added. And if we don't have a guest, talk more about that. But we're getting so many good guests here. We don't want to just really waste on their time. You know, Kevin Bennett, aka French Accent, he was. We put that stuff in there. It's amazing.
He's
so
great. He's great.
That's probably what we'll do going forward, and it's because of you guys out there, the viewers like you.
Viewers like you have made this possible. Make sure you donate. So feel free to keep contributing. Just a coffee a day will get you more Tim and Dino on the DNT network, on the IUA network, Eargasm, and of course Wee's World Podcast. Check them out, guys.
Show our love. Oh yeah, our sponsor. See, this is what we're adding to. This might be a thing we're interested in. If you might be wanting more content where these topics get fully fleshed out, become a Patreon, and this might be where you get this content. We're still working on that platform to give you the best quality content.
Yeah.
Also, please, everyone out there, show us some love and show the new network some love. IUA Network on YouTube, give them a subscribe. Wee's World Podcast Network, give them a like, man. They're out of Indiana. They're very great people. They actually got some great shows coming up. And also check out Sports Balls and all the great quality program on the premier social media network, Eargasm Comedy Showcase Network on Facebook.
I think that's about it for us, guys. We will be back. We're going to be keep an eye on Eargasm and the Facebook page and our own pages because we release clips all the time. If you couldn't stay for the whole show, you check those out. And yeah, Glenn Elrod, you're a great man. You're a great man, sir.
But you're not broke because you got two great friends like us. We'll always be there, brother. And if that doesn't work for you, you're probably broke. It's been great.
It's been great, guys. Thank you so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. Give us a like, share, subscribe, share us to your own page, and let your friends know. Maybe from a rooftop, maybe from hell, wherever you're watching us from. Other people want to see us too. That's
basically Southern Illinois. Like you just get on top of your trailer and put a fucking flag in it and state your claim and tell everyone Idiot Says What is the podcast that you call
We'll make you a
home.
flag. We will make you a flag for the right money. We will definitely release merch that is a flag because we're those
and it will only cost you 4 easy payments of $19.95, and we do not accept COD.
That's been Idiot Says What. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you in a week.